everyone, welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. And yes, I know it's been a couple days, guys. Yes, it has. You guys are very, very great timekeepers, I guess one could say. However, I am back, and you guys read the title. You guys saw the thumbnail. I am back with another gun review. So, for this gun review, the CZ TS2 Orange. And I might also add, this is not my firearm. Actually, as a matter of fact, firearm and ammunition sponsor for this video. Vic, shout out to you, bro. Thank you very much. My goodness, is this thing phenomenal. Oh my gosh. All right. And I've been super excited to do this review just so that way I can show you guys how great the trigger is on this gun. Keep in mind, guys, everything is stock. Ready for this? You're freaking kidding me. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. That is amazing, guys. So, let's talk about the gun real quick. No pick rail on here, not an issue because my goodness, oh gosh, can you be accurate with this thing? So, we're going to run this through all four self-defense situations, obviously, but first I got to talk about some of the features. The mag release button, phenomenal. As you guys can see, very large button. You hit that mag release button, it's out. No issue. It's not even just a matter of the mags being free falling either. The TS2 actually will give them a little kick out. Will help you with faster reloading. For those of you guys who are wondering, what does the TS in TS2 stand for? If I'm not mistaken, it stands for Tactical Sports. Now, you guys might be wondering, what dot are you running on here? Nothing super crazy. It's a Holosun 507C green dot. Phenomenal dot. Oh, everybody knows that. But when I tell you guys right now that this probably has been one of the most reliable high-end guns I have shot, especially here on the channel, oh my goodness, guys. I can tell you right now for a fact that this particular one has had well over 1,000 rounds put through it. I can say that very, very, very confidently. However, I personally have only shot about 500 rounds through it. So that's why this is only a 500 round review. Now, I am aware that this gun isn't exactly in everybody's price point. The average price point for this firearm is around $2,000. You might find it for a little bit more. You might find it for a little bit less. It really just varies. Coming with 3 20-round magazines. That's right, 3 20-round magazines of 9mm. Of course, you got +1 in the chamber. And hey, if you're looking for an aftermarket base plate, boom. If I'm not mistaken, this base plate is an extra 8 or an extra 10 rounds. I mean, guys, come on now. You're freaking kidding me. Now, let's talk about reliability. Did I have any malfunctions with this firearm ever? No. That's the easiest way to say it, guys. I have not had a single issue with this firearm in any way, shape, or form. I can also say, though, that just I alone have shot 500 rounds through this gun. I can also say that all of my coworkers have probably shot each 200 rounds through this gun itself. I can also say the owner of the firearm has shot well over 1,000 rounds through this gun itself. So what does that tell me? That tells me that the TS2's reliability is really freaking up there, to say the least, guys. I don't think I need to express that enough. But the reliability of the TS2, it is, I won't say unmatched because that's not the truth. Glock reliability, there's a reason why Glock has that track record. But I will say right now, if you're looking for an extremely fast, extremely reliable, extremely accurate gun, you're not going to look too much further than the TS2 Orange. I mean, guys, this thing is phenomenal. Now, of course, it does come with an ambi manual safety. I personally am not a big fan of that. So what I use it for is I use it almost as a gas pedal. I rest my thumb on it, and I will use it to help drive down the firearm to help mitigate some recoil. Now, let's talk about how it's shot. Guys, you can imagine it shot phenomenally. Here's some slow shooting. I mean, mag dumping with this thing, it's a freaking dream, dude. It's like a sewing machine. Now, I was having so much fun with this gun that I was starting to get low on ammo before I remembered, hey, we have more shooting that we need to get recorded, Mark. So here are some build drills. And here are some Mozambiques. As you guys can see, the firearm shoots extremely well, to say the least. That's like an under exaggeration. That's me being charitable and not giving out just how great the gun is while shooting. I mean, and you guys hear that? Hear how just smooth. It's just butter smooth, guys. Everything about this gun has been phenomenal. My entire shooting experience with it has been great, to say the least. Now, of course, we have to run it through all 4 self-defense situations. Otherwise, what kind of review is this? You know what I mean? What kind of review really is this if we're not willing to run this through any self-defense situations? So let's get started with home defense. Now, home defense, there is no pick rail. What does that mean? That means that you guys are not going to be able to attach a light to it. So that leaves you with one of 2 options. One, either use a off-weapon flashlight, or 2, you're going to have something custom made for your TS2, which wouldn't be the end of the world. At least you know, hey, this light is definitely going to fit my gun. I had it custom made, you know, so that wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess you could say. However, what I will say, though, is that regardless of having a light mounted to the weapon or not, would I say you're at a disadvantage if this is your only gun for home defense? Absolutely not. My goodness, dude, no. Extremely reliable, extremely accurate, very light trigger, very crisp trigger at that. I mean, you're going to be drilling this guy, putting 20 to 30 rounds in the exact same spot in like 2 to 3 seconds. I mean, guys, this gun is phenomenally quick. It is insanely smooth. Like, I will say, of course, this is more so a competition style gun than anything else. However, if you only have the TS2 and you're looking for a home defense handgun, you're not exactly at a disadvantage. I'll tell you that much. Moving on to concealed carry. Concealed carry, I'll be honest with you guys. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I almost completely forgot to give a score for home defense. Home defense, I'm going to give the CZ TS2 a 8.5 out of 10. Some people might be wondering, what made you not want to go up to a 9 or a 9.5? Well, simply due to the fact that it doesn't have a pick rail. I personally, for my home defense handguns, I like to have a light attached to them. I'd like to be able to turn on that light just in case I'm hearing something and it's not a threat. I can then, well, oh, okay. And I can not have to shoot my gun to find out who is there. You see what I mean? Now, of course, there are other people who live in entirely different situations. I mean, if I lived by myself, yeah, I probably wouldn't care too much in that sense, because if I lived by myself and I woke up in the middle of the night to somebody breaking in my house, I don't care who it is, they're probably going to get eliminated. But regardless of that, with an 8.5 out of 10, that is not a bad score at all. Let's go ahead and move on to concealed carry. Concealed carry is where the TS2 is going to get a bit less of a score, guys. And this isn't me knocking the firearm or me saying that it's a bad gun, nothing like that. It's more so just its size and weight. I mean, guys, this is not a light gun. I encourage you to look up the weight of the CZ TS2 because it is not light at all. All right. If you are able to conceal carry the TS2 and it's not printing, it's not extremely obvious that you have that gun on you, one, good for you. That's phenomenal. But two, you're going to be at a huge advantage if you ever do have to use your firearm. Why? Because of how big the firearm is, how easy it is to shoot, how controllable it is. I mean, again, you're going to be literally putting 20 to 30 rounds in the exact same spot on the thread. I don't know what else to say to you guys. So, what would I have to give the TS2 on a scale of 1 to 10 for a concealed carry situation? Honestly, I'm going to have to give this one probably a 7 out of 10. Why, you might be wondering? Well, again, it's not a matter of reliability. It's not a matter of the capacity of the firearm. It's not a matter of the caliber it's chambered in. It is simply just a matter of its size and weight. It is not exactly going to be the most comfortable gun for you guys to conceal carry. I hear people complaining about concealed carrying a Glock 26. If you're having trouble concealed carrying a Glock 26 comfortably, you're not going to be able to carry the CZ TS2 Orange comfortably. I hate to break it to you guys. Moving on, though, from concealed carry, we're going to go ahead and run into an SHTF situation. Now, CZ, they are a very, very, very popular brand. Are they the most mass-produced firearm, or at least are they, or any of their models, the most mass-produced firearms in the country? No, not really. While ammunition isn't going to be an issue to find, while magazines even might not be too hard to find, they're definitely going to be harder to find than, say, your typical AR mag or your typical Glock mag. However, though, it's the parts availability that's going to give the TS2 such a low score in this one. I mean, you guys got to remember, when we're dealing with a very high-end gun such as the CZ TS2, there aren't too many manufacturers that are making a bunch of parts for it. There isn't a large aftermarket availability for this firearm, guys. Why is that? Because this gun, pretty much out of the box, is phenomenal. Is extremely easy to shoot. Like, the majority of people who I have seen shoot this gun, their first time shooting it, they will hit the bullseye more than once. They will multiple times every time. That's just how accurate the gun is, guys. That's how easy it is to shoot accurately, I might add. And while it's great for shooting, it's great for being accurate, it's great for, shooting quickly, it's just not going to be the best in an SHTF situation. Now, would I say you're completely screwed if you have a TS2, in an SHTF? No, but I will say that there is a much better option that you probably should have prepared for ahead of time. You do want a firearm in an SHTF situation that has great parts availability, that has great magazine availability, that has great ammunition availability. I mean, I don't want to keep going in circles here on this one because I feel like some people might think I'm hating on the TS2 when that's far from the truth, guys. I'm just willing to be honest enough to say that this gun is a little too high end for the majority of people's taste. And hey, I get that. That's fine. Whatever. But that just means that parts, magazines are just not going to be as widely available. That's all it is. What score would I give the CZ TS2 Orange in an SHTF situation? That's a good question. I'm probably going to have to give it a 6 on this one. This isn't to, knock the TS2 or anything. It's just, again, guys, with such a lack of magazine availability, with such a lack of parts availability, if something breaks in this gun, it's pretty much out of commission unless you know how to fix it yourself personally without getting any other parts. So again, this isn't to knock on the TS2 Orange. It is a great gun. It's just in an SHTF situation, it might not be your best bet. Moving on, though, last but not least, to an animal defense situation. If for some reason you decided when you go out into the woods, hey, I want to take with me my $2,000 CZ TS2 Orange, by all means, go right ahead. It's your life. Do I encourage it? No, not at all. In my opinion, the gun is just definitely a little too expensive for what I would just take out and about with me, where I would probably have to use it like on wild animals per se. However, again, guys, if this is your only option, you are not at a disadvantage. 20 plus 1 and 9mm just in the flush fitting mags. You guys can read that. That says 20 right there. This is the flush fitting mag. It holds 20 plus 1 in the chamber. So, are you going to be at a disadvantage if you have the TS2 and you're in the middle of defending yourself from an animal? Probably not. It really just depends on the size of the animal. I mean, remember, guys, we are talking about a 9mm round here. While 9mm is, the most popular concealed carry option out there, and honestly the most practical, it still doesn't have the most stopping power, which is more than fine. It's a handgun round. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a video talking about handgun rounds and stopping power in a little bit. However, though, the whole point I'm getting at is 9mm just isn't that hard hitting of a caliber, which again is more than fine. So for all small animals, yeah, the TS2 Orange will do a great job. For the majority of medium-sized animals, yeah, the TS2 Orange will do a great job. Of course, it depends on what you classify as a medium-sized animal. But overall, if you're trying to run the TS2 against any sort of larger animal, you're probably going to be screwed. And again, that's nothing on the TS2. That's more so on 9mm. It's just not the most powerful round out there in the world, especially out of a handgun. That's just how it is, guys. What am I going to give the CZ TS2 in animal defense? Tough question. I'm probably going to, in this case, give it a 7 out of 10. So for those of you guys who have been keeping track, that is a 8.5, a 7, a 6, and a 7 for a grand total of 29.5 out of 40. So a little under 75%. That's not bad, especially considering, I think we can all agree here, the CZ TS2 was made for basically one thing. And what is that one thing? Shooting fast and accurately. Because my goodness, dude, like this gun, you can go so incredibly fast with it. It's absolutely amazing. With that being said, I do think that about wraps it up for this video. I don't want to keep going in circles here about how much I like the TS2. However, I think you guys can see that, especially for this being the most, at the moment, the most high-end gun that I have done a review on, I mean, it does hold pretty freaking well. So the price point might actually be worth it, guys. But with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all in. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on the CZ TS2 Orange, go ahead and comment your thoughts down below, whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you want one, whether you don't want one, whether it is the bane of your existence. Go ahead and comment down below. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.